frequency and help the prospect go to where they want to go. Our old mentor called that ego balance, where you're able to get into the other person's mind and see the world from where they see it. Get on their frequency, get in their vibration. The vibration you're in is going to dictate what you attract into your life. And if you're troubled, you're worried, you're going to attract a lot of bad energy. That's why the great sufferer in the Bible said, "Lo, the thing I fear has come to visit upon me." Well, fear is a very negative vibration. It's a very negative emotion. It's caused by doubt and worry. And doubt and worry is really caused by ignorance. That's why Solomon said, "In all you're getting, get understanding." What do we want to understand? I think we want to understand the laws that govern our being, the laws that govern our universe. And then we want to understand how to get in harmony with the law. Everything you want will come to you when you get in harmony with it. Vibration is essential to understand. But only one person, maybe 10, has any grasp on it at all. If you ask a person how they feel, what they're really telling you is their conscious awareness of the vibration they're in. If a person says, "I just don't feel very well," that person's probably in a very negative vibration. The person said, "I feel wonderful," they're in a very good vibration. If you're in a really good vibration and you're with a person that's very negative, you will not feel comfortable in their presence. Feeling, conscious awareness, vibration. You don't feel comfortable in their energy and you want to get away from them. Now, if you were negative and they're negative, you're going to come together. Misery loves company. See, these old sayings are all based on laws. It's hard to believe that two miserable people would be comfortable together, but if you understand, they're both on the same frequency. They're both listening to the same music. You'll often hear a person that went for a walk in the woods. They said it was so pleasant. Why? The vibration of nature is perfect. That's why a walk in the woods leaves you feeling so good. What do you understand about the law of vibration? That's a good question to ask yourself. I'm going to give you a small exercise. The next time you're around a person that's complaining about anything, or that obviously doesn't feel very well, start changing the subject. Start talking to them, about something good about them. Compliment them, but make it a sincere, merited compliment, not false praise, no flattery. Pick out something good that they do, and slowly turn the subject around to that. Let them know how much you admire how well they do it. And you know something? Like that, their energy will change. You have caused them to change their vibration. Now the beautiful truth about this, when you do, you'll learn how to do it to yourself when you're not feeling very good. That's the beautiful truth. We are in control of how we feel. I was reading something by Viktor Frankl, the author of Man's Search for Meaning, a Viennese psychiatrist, spent the war years in a concentration camp. He said, in every situation, there is a space between the situation and how you respond to it. And in that space, you can decide how you're going to respond. Now that space may only be a millisecond. But in that space, you can decide. Are you going to react or are you going to respond? Think of it. In every situation, between the situation and your response, there is a space. And in that space, you can decide how you're going to respond. Vibration is something that I love studying. When you're in a restaurant or in a store or any place where the energy is really good, you feel very comfortable. It's the vibration. You've gone into a restaurant and sat down, and before you ordered anything, all of a sudden you don't want to eat there. Why? It's the energy, it's the vibration of that place. You should get up and leave. Go where you feel comfortable. Do what makes you feel good. That's why people that are doing what they love never have to work. They spend their whole life in a wonderful vibration. The person who truly understands how to pray puts himself in a wonderful vibration. I want to suggest you study it and understand this. You will attract to you whatever you're in harmonious vibration with. You are in control of the vibration you're in.
So I just want everybody to see that. It's surprising now that they began to talk like this after many years. Only a handful of us was talking about that. The vibration he's talking about, in my opinion, is the nata energy that's released. And that permeates the universe. That nata energy is a vibrational energy, and in the ancient teachings of Hinduism, Buddhism, and even Christianity and Judaism, they talk about God spoke the word, and the word was God. That word was that sound vibration release, and the Hindus describe it as the vak, the initial sound. And from that came from Shiva, Shakti, but it was the sound vibration that released that Shakti. And it is the sound vibration that keeps that Shakti in motion throughout the universe. And that's why the galaxy release a vibrational sound, and all the suns and all the planets release a sound. And anything in creation release a sound. The chakras of the body is made of bits of sound that release the sound to allow consciousness to operate. So now they are getting into this whole sound thing or vibration thing. Excuse my voice. So I want you all to see that. I got something. So, and it goes into what we've been talking about, the aura, because the aura operates off of sound vibrations. It operates off of nata, off of the nata energy. I think I showed you all that on the other scale, that the same one you was looking at earlier. You see one of the either the second or either the first or the second ring says nata on it. No, the other one. Yeah, look on that when I named the layers of the aura. Which one is the second one?
The nada is number one.
Number one. So that is the sound vibration And that sound vibration is the thing that makes all movement. You know, that sound vibration is the thing that releases the Shakti from the stillness, from the endless potential. And that vibration goes out throughout the whole universe. So in your body is a universe. And that Shakti, the Shiva, or the spirit within you, releases a sound. And that sound vibration is actually release the Shakti, or the soul, right? Because the soul represents the Shakti. And then all movement can begin. And the soul releases a sound. And that sound builds the auric body, and it intertwines with the 108 chakras. And those 108 chakras are nothing but vibrational sound vibrations. And the sound goes on and on and on. Even the Kundalini releases a sound. And that's how you have the nadis, the nadi system. So, and that's why I tell you all, sound is what? What I say sound is? Consciousness. Because consciousness is the thing that makes things move. It's that vibrational thing that all of us are connected with. It's kind of too late to start all this, but but I can give you this so we can go over it really next week. But I thought he gave a good explanation without all the Sanskrit. You know.
I'll take two.
Okay. Put one.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
How, I mean, and I'm sure it takes a lot of willpower and all that, but how can one work at remaining in one's vibration when one is not, when you're supposed to be for at least a little bit of time in a space where the vibration is a lot lower?
What do you mean a lot lower?
What he was saying, like, you're like uncomfortable because the vibration is, you're at a different place.
Well, he was doing something that I told you all to do many times. You shift your consciousness. You know, just think about something else. Focus your mind somewhere else. Focus your feelings somewhere else. Mm-hmm. You know, detach yourself from that thing that is aggravating you. Mm-hmm. And then when you see yourself going to begin to think negative thoughts, switch it and start thinking about something positive. Just like if you heard, oh, this person was in an accident. The first thing you think about is blood and guts. Train yourself not to do that. Because when you think about that, you send that negative energy to that person. You know, think about immediately train yourself, okay, I'm just going to send out energy. And I see them as whole. I see them, you know, I see them as one. I see them all right. You know, and you just got to shift your consciousness. When you do that, you'll feel better, and you won't allow the negative energy to enter your auric fields, you know. So, but if you allow yourself to sink down, you'll think all the time. You'll allow imagination to take over, and you'll just start thinking anything. You know, and television have trained us to think the worst.
Yeah, I know.
You know. Any other questions? Okay.
Maybe you did talk a little bit about that last week, and I'm waiting for the lecture to be up, but I guess all the negative stuff that one carries.
If you're one of the 55 million Americans who drive a
All
personal
the
car
what?
to work and don't track your business miles, you could be losing.
That you carry, and I don't How do you start cleaning it from your aura?
How do you get it from your aura, you say?
Or how do you clean it out?
Through mantra is a way to clean the aura. If you chant mantra rapidly
Yeah.
for periods of time, you can clean. You can clean the aura. The effects of mantra is, if you chant mantra constantly for at least 5-10 minutes, what it does, it spins the aura. Well, you have to concentrate on the mantra. You can't do it in a lackadaisical way. But what mantra is, mantra activates the various chakras, because mantra is the bits of sound within each chakra. If you heard of the chakra petals, well, the chakra petals are actually sound bits, vibrational sound bits. So when you chant the mantra, you activate those. In turn, those sound bits send a signal out within the aura that makes the aura spins. When the aura spins, then you have, it begins to burn up negative thought or negative samskaras. Within the aura, every thought, every action that you make, it turns to a samskara. And a samskara is like a scar or a seed that's planted within the aura. And what happens, it embeds itself in the aura, and it stays there until you ignite that samskara again. How do you ignite the samskara? By going going to a particular place that gives that samskara energy or life again. Let's say if you like drinking, and if you embed a lot of actions of thought and actions of drinking liquor, that's embedded within the samskaras. You create hundreds and hundreds of samskaras. So every time you pass that liquor, it excites the dormant samskaras within you, and it goes to the surface level of the aura and have you to have a craving for that drink. So what happens, mantra burns those type of samskaras up so that they can't exist. And by doing that, remember the chakras are levels of consciousness. Now, a lot of these samskaras, they're like pollution in the chakras that stop the chakras from communicating to its Lord self. To stop the inspirational energy from the lower part of your consciousness, from the higher part of your consciousness to the lower part of your consciousness, those built up samskaras block that. So that's why you use prayer, mantra, pranayama in order to clean out the auric fields to allow that higher conscious energy to flow down to the lower conscious energy, and also to allow the lower conscious to communicate with the higher. So if you pray, if you chant mantra in a very holy and sacred way, and you do deep breathing, you can clear up the nadi pathways within the aura and allow a free flow of energy and consciousness between the lower and the higher consciousness. So that's one way you do it, by chanting mantra, by doing pranayama, and by praying unselfish prayers, not selfish prayers, Lord, give me this and give me that. By praying for the world, praying for peace, praying, in an unselfish way. That cleanses the aura, and that burns up negative energy. So the negative samskaras that you have placed in the aura, it burns it up.
So the mantras, I don't know any.
You don't know no mantras?
I mean, I know a couple, but I don't know. Yeah, where can I
By the
do that?
by the mantra tape from the Theory Society.
Okay,
Dr. King left a mantra tape that gives at least 11 mantras.
okay.
Right. Maybe next week we can bring one or two mantras in from the lecture tapes, and we can let you listen to it.
When mantra is burning up some stuff, does it burn it up without activating it, or does it cause it to kind of just flare up and then fizzle out?
It flare ups and then fizzle out. Now, why is in the deep when you begin to burn up the deep and graded and long living type, now you get into a higher advanced subject, which people probably won't understand this. When you go to begin to burn up the real deep samskaras that have last for eons, for thousands upon thousands of lifetimes. When you go to burn those up, and the majority of the time those are burnt up by a partial rays of Kundalini or a full rays of Kundalini, then at that point, if you don't have enough control, you can fall deep into that, where it must manifest itself for a while. You have to have enough control to complete the process of burning that samskara up. But that happens in deep contemplation and meditation. Okay, but the surface type samskaras that triggers that feed off the long lasting samskaras, you can burn that up and you can bring that in control. And that's where yama and niyama in the 8 limbs of yoga come about. You know, taking control over your thought and actions, which is yama, and niyama is introducing a God, preference or reason for doing what you're doing, right? That fuels the fire of burning up the samskaras, those surface samskaras that we deal with on a daily basis, that drive us to do something terrible, you know. And remember, mantra, for simple terms, if you want a visual on it, mantra is like calling up a diva. That's what it is. It's calling up a diva within you, a diva that works for you. That's what it is. Because the power of mantra is guaranteed. It's a guaranteed power. If you pronounce that mantra right, if you invoke that power right, then that power is given to you. And that's why mantra is kept sacred. That's why, we give it away sparingly. Because it can easily, if it can be used for bad, for good, it can be used for bad just as well. Because the diva is only going to follow the intent. So your intent has to be right. So that's very important.
So when we're doing mantra and we adopt a mudra that sends the energy out as opposed to keeping it within yourself, we're burning up our samskara, but that what's being sent out is the beneficial effect of it. Is it like the energy we're generating onto it?
Yeah, because when you chant a mantra, you send energy into the body and you send energy out of the body. Your body is always pulling energy in and sending energy out. It's always doing that, just a natural function. So when you use a mantra for prayer, you're just directing where that energy will go. See, you're taking a conscious control over where you want that energy sent, or what benefit you want that energy to bring about. That's the only thing. It's the same way if you go and you begin to create something on your computer. You're directing the energy that's going out of you. You know, it's the same way if you go to the grocery store, you're directing the energy that's coming out of you, how you want that energy to be spent. So it creates a mindset. It's just like when you go to worship, you're creating a mindset. You go to the library, you're creating a mind. You're adding to the collective in that, in that library. That's why when you walk in there, it feels a certain way. That's why when you walk into a restaurant, it feels a certain way, because you've added to the collective consciousness of that area. So it's always an in and out. The energy is going in and the energy is going out. And it's that exchange that you're trying to take control of, and that's why it's so effective in burning up negative karma. If you have an unselfish, that's the same reason why prayer is too. If you have an unselfish intent. Is there any other questions?
I have one more question about mantra.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm doing mantra, I know that there's kind of like it's rising scale. I don't know what it's called. But anyway, there's a point where I have to reach where I go through certain things. Where first when I start, it's difficult to concentrate mentally. Body's acting up, whatever. There's different things. I'm hearing everything, whatever. It's difficult to concentrate. But around 30, 45 minutes, I'll start to feel like physical pain in the body. And then after 45 minutes or so, that'll pass, and I'm able to just kind of go into a flow and stay in that kind of zone for an hour or so. Is that part of the burning up process, or is just the body kicking back, or the ego kicking back?
It could be. It could be part of the process. It could be. A lot of people talk about the pain. It's either on the left side of the body or the right side of the body, and it almost feel like the binges, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I think it's an energy flow. It's an energy. It's a collection of energy flow, and it's that aura spins around, because the aura begins to fin. Those kinks have to be pulled out. I remember as a child, when we used to do mantra for hours, everybody talked about that the binges, they will have the pain that will come up on the back or in the front on one of the sides. Yeah, where is, and if you look at it psychically, you'll begin to see how the aura bends and twists, and you can see the wiggly line of pain there. So it's part of the process. Almost everybody I know that did long hours of mantra, they talk about that. They talk about it. So it's just something. Another thing is later you'll feel the lightness of the head, and you'll feel a tightness around the head.
Band of pressure. Right?
Yeah, band of pressure, and you'll feel a neck. Your neck begins to ache and itch, and then all of a sudden you'll feel the itching all over the body. And then after a while, that'll go away. And you'll just have this flow of energy and visions and the colors and all the different lights and shapes that you see within the aura as you on your eyelids, as you just go into the mantra and become part of the mantra. So those are just normal things that happen. Now, if you talk to everybody that do it for a long time, it sound the same. They just might tell it in a different way. So that's nothing to worry about. There's no questions online? in those diagrams, what I just told you, I kind of explain it here. You can see. Can everyone see that over there? Did I email that to you, Dwayne?
A long time ago.
I didn't email it this morning?
You know this morning?
I thought I did.
You might send it to the NPHC email. I'll have it in my email.
what? You have to put water in a well in order to prime it, in order to get the water to come up. So you have deposited many, 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 many different deposits inside of you that now, you know, in order for you to reach out on the outside of the world, you have that connection. You know, either you thought something, you experienced something, you've seen something, and all those samskaras are embedded in you. And that's how you begin to communicate with the outside world. It's through those connections. Same with a baby. A baby take in for many years before they begin to speak, before they begin to really act and communicate with the outside world in an intelligent way. In an intelligent way. So that's what that is. These are the negative samskaras versus the positive samskaras. You can see the big difference. Attachment, anger, malice, greed, jealous, envy, pride, desire, passion, lust, delusion, and all other type of impurities. And then you have detachment, unselfish love, kindness, devotion, prayer, mantra, yoga, mudra, positive visualization, unconditional sacrifice, acts that kill desire, that kill passion, that kill lust, you know, service without pay. These, you know, those things, that creates good samskaras and attract good things to you. So that's the big difference. You're priming the well with the proper substance so that you get pure water coming up and going out. Okay, if there's no other questions, we can close out unless you all want to talk about something else. There's no other questions? Okay. We can kind of close out. Is that it, Dwayne? Okay.
can one prepare to move into a new place? She's talking about how to clean the place, clean the house.
With the same thing, mantra, prayer, where you can bless a house too, purify a house. With the mystic cross, I think we gave that, or Their Society gave that, right? Also, more practical way the way the Caribbeans do it, you plant certain plants around the house and around the yard, perfectly plants that give out a nice smell, like flowers or plants that have a nice smell, that kill negative type energy as well, right? And you keep water and earthy type things around the house that keep out negativity too. Okay? And those of you who asking me online how you see the aura, how you develop those abilities, I say this over and over and over. Pranayama, mantra, and prayer. Use those techniques and you can develop your psychic abilities. Also, the Their Society gives a tape out called How to Develop Your Clairvoyant Powers. They give one out on the psychic centers. They give one out on psychometry, a lecture. These are lecture tapes. And they have a book called Contact Your Higher Self Through Yoga. We have another book called Science of Mind on our website, mysticknowledge.org, which is a pranayama book. Teach you pranayama exercises to develop yourself psychically. So, but follow the system of the 8 limbs of yoga, in my advice. It gives you a balanced way to enter into doing those things. All right, that's the end of the class. We're going to do a prayer.
The New Lord's Prayer. O divine and wondrous Spirit, O everlasting Lord of hosts, send forth now through me thy great and lasting power. Allow me, Almighty God, the lasting privilege of radiating to all the world thy great love, so that those who suffer may be given the power and energy to rise above their weaknesses. Almighty God, in great humility do I ask you to send forth your power, to give to me this great lasting privilege of being a channel, so that my suffering brothers may be helped and guided and healed and lifted into thy light, so that they who know not may look up, and in doing so, receive to their higher selves your divine counsel. Almighty God, this day have you granted me a divine privilege. I ask you now to give to me the strength, so that never again will I turn from my inner vision of you. O great peace, great peace, great peace. In praise of your greatness, O God, doth my soul sing. Grant it energy to sing on forever and forever. Thank you for watching. Last week's class will be up this Monday. See you next week. And there will be no class next week. So the following week, February something. Is it? I don't know. February 26th. Right, we'll be back February 26th.